Yeah. All right, so, y'all know I don't do public speech like that. I'm about to code switch, and for those of you that are in here that don't know what code switching is, it means I'm gonna go from English to Ebonics and back and forth a few times, okay? So y'all bear with me, okay? I'm gonna show y'all a couple of things. No, I'm Haley Morrisette. I'm one of the co-founders of the grassroots movement here from Pensacola with Love. I'm just kind of, I can't believe it's so many people here. I didn't expect this, but I'm amazed and I'm happy that so many people are here tonight. What I'm going to be talking about is the amazing argument of all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter. I want to start off with kind of a story that I think in my head whenever I talk about this. If we were going to dinner, we've been working all day long, going to school all day, you are hungry as crap. And you get to the table, say we're at Olive Garden, I'm not all that bougie, so Olive Garden, okay? You get to Olive Garden, and everybody else gets their plate. And you're sitting there for about 30 minutes waiting for your plate to come. You're like, I've been working like my homies over here, where my food at? And then you finally say something. You say, hey, can I get my plate at the table too? Like, I'm here, y'all see me here. And everybody dismisses you and says, everybody gets hungry, and they keep shoving food into their face. That's exactly what it feels like to the Black community when someone says all lives matter instead of Black Lives Matter. The issue that we have when we discuss all lives matter, it's that we always say we're missing the two after Black Lives Matter. Why don't they just change it to Black Lives Matter too? Well, y'all have heard the history that's behind it. This isn't something that just y'all lost one Black kid and now all of y'all want to be the angry Blacks. It's not what happened at all. There's history. This is something that we've been culminating and taking with us for generations in our bloodlines. And a couple of y'all, I see y'all Black grandmas in y'all too, but y'all don't know it. That's why y'all in here too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All of us connected in some type of way. And that's why when you come to it, you can't just dismiss what the Black community has been going through for generation after generation with no time to heal in between. Every time it seems like we've gotten to a point where maybe we're going to heal, we're going to see some policies change, we're going to be able to get through this, we have another death, after another death, after another death. The argument of saying, well, why are you saying Black Lives Matter? I think all lives matter. Yeah, there's a problem, but you shouldn't say that. You should say all lives matter. What you're doing is decentering Blackness. This is an anti-Black sentiment, actually. When you decenter Blackness from the issue at hand, that's the issue at hand, that America has a problem with Blackness. When you decenter that, there's really nothing to look at because it insulates white privilege. Saying all lives matter gives you further cushion to say it's okay because something good is going to happen eventually. I mean, all of us around here are able to strive and thrive and be together, so you can just say all lives matter. You don't have to make it specifically about race, but it is about race. At the end of the day, we have to look at exactly what it's about. Our implicit biases in America is what's killing the Black community. And it's not just about police violence. They've told you over and over again when we talk about Black Lives Matter as the movement and organization actually, that it's about building these black communities. Pensacola, once upon a time, the black community thrived. We owned majority of the land here. When you look around now and you see where the black community is, when we look at our cousins, y'all, where do we see some of them in Pensacola at? And this is interactive. Y'all stop me if I'm wrong, but where I see the people I grew up out Wedgwood. I lived in, well, my folks up in kind of the bougie part of Wedgwood, but down in the bottom where I used to hang, that's where the rest of the family is. We owned all of this community, but we've had all of these gaps stopping us from being able to build back to where we was before we start having the implementation of all these policies and people not respecting the history of the African American community and what we have also introduced to Pensacola. Pensacola wouldn't thrive without its African American community. Let's be honest. Am I lying? All right then, we could. I just want to, I'm not gonna be long. I just got a couple of more points to make, y'all. You want to look at Black Lives Matter as an organization and also as a movement. All Lives Matter is not a organization. I have saw a GoFundMe where there's a young man in Charlotte that's raised about, I think, $5,000 or so already because he wants to challenge and make it an organization in itself. But his specific agenda is we need an All Lives Matter organization because the Black Lives Matter movement is violent. Have we not told y'all tonight that that is not what we're about? When you set things down on the wrong foundation, they crumble. What we have here in America with trying to say, well, all lives matter, when in reality we know when we look at what we have seen in these pictures, Charlotte looked just like Ferguson back in 2014. And years before that, and years before that. Because America was not built on the right foundation in the beginning. It's on really shaky ground and the cookie is about to crumble if we don't all come together at some point and redo everything. So, next time somebody tells you, don't say Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Say, well, I'm glad we on the same page, because America got an issue with Black lives. Let's go ahead, you come with me to this Black Lives Matter rally.